For more than a decade, Apple worked on a secret project so ambitious, so expensive, and so mysterious that even most Apple employees didn't know it existed. A project that consumed thousands of engineers, cost over $10 billion, and promised to redefine transportation the same way the iPhone redefined communication. Internally, it was known simply as Project Titan. Apple's attempt to build the world's first truly revolutionary self-driving electric car. But after years of rumors, prototypes, executive shakeups, and failed experiments, Apple suddenly pulled the plug. Overnight, the most secretive car project on Earth died without a single public reveal. But the real question isn't why Apple wanted to build a car. It's why the world's most successful company couldn't. How could a company with unlimited money, a legendary design team, and the best hardware engineers fail at something Tesla, Rivian, BYD, and even startups have managed to ship? What really happened inside those top-secret Apple labs? Today, we're uncovering the mystery behind Project Titan, its origins, its rise, the chaos inside it, and the real reasons it collapsed. The dream that started it all. The idea wasn't as crazy as it sounds. By 2013, Apple had conquered the phone, the tablet, the watch, the laptop, and the digital ecosystem. Its next trillion-dollar play needed to be bigger, much bigger. Cars were the one product category Apple had never touched, and they were being shaken from the inside. Tesla wasn't just building electric cars, it was turning vehicles into computers on wheels. Suddenly, cars weren't mechanical machines anymore. They were software platforms, and Apple knew exactly how to dominate a software-first industry. Internally, the vision was bold. A fully autonomous, sleek, minimalist Apple car with no steering wheel, no pedals, a living room interior, and the intelligence to drive itself anywhere. Tim Cook approved the idea, giving Project Titan a full green light. Up to 5,000 employees, yes, 5,000, were eventually involved. The mission: reinvent the car the way the iPhone reinvented the phone. But from the beginning, something wasn't right. The chaotic beginning. Apple started by hiring aggressively. It poached engineers from Tesla, Ford, GM, Mercedes, NASA, and even MIT robotics labs. It lured dozens of top executives with million-dollar incentives. It bought autonomous vehicle startups and built massive secret facilities. But the hiring frenzy came with a problem. Nobody agreed on what the Apple car should be. Some teams believed Apple should build a fully autonomous robo-shuttle. Others wanted a luxury electric sedan. Some believed Apple should compete directly with Tesla. Others argued they should avoid traditional cars entirely and focus only on the autonomous software. There were multiple design teams, multiple prototypes, and conflicting visions. The result? Internal chaos. Managers fought over leadership direction. Engineers complained about a lack of focus. Executives kept changing targets. Apple employees later described the early years of Titan as a billion-dollar group project without a plan. And while the vision kept shifting, Tesla kept delivering. Tesla released the Model S, then the Model X, then Autopilot. Meanwhile, Apple still didn't know what it was building. The impossible hardware challenge. Apple has always followed one simple rule. If Apple builds hardware, it must be perfect. Not good, not premium, perfect. But building a car isn't like building a phone. A modern EV requires manufacturing plants, supply chains, battery chemistry, crash engineering, safety compliance, chassis design, and long-term service networks. Tesla nearly died multiple times just trying to survive production. Apple didn't want that risk, and when the team finally produced early prototypes, the issues were immediate. They were too expensive. They were too complex. They couldn't match Tesla's range. They couldn't match Tesla's battery output. And the self-driving system was nowhere near Tesla, Waymo, or Cruise. Apple discovered what every car company already knew. Autonomy is brutally hard. AI models struggled with unpredictability. The car didn't understand weather. It couldn't navigate in real city environments. It required safety drivers at all times. And worst of all, Apple was behind competitors who had millions of miles of real-world data. Tesla had the fleet advantage. Apple had nothing. The dream of building a fully autonomous Apple car by 2020, which early executives believed, quietly evaporated. The leadership collapse. Then came the leadership crisis. Apple appointed Steve Zadesky to lead the project. Then he stepped down. Bob Mansfield replaced him. Then he stepped back. Doug Field took over. Then he left for Ford. Hundreds of engineers were laid off, reassigned, or pushed out. Each leadership change shifted priorities again. First, it was a Tesla competitor. Then it was a luxury shuttle. Then it was a van-like autonomous pod. Then it was a normal car with limited autonomy. Then it was a level 5 fully self-driving vehicle. Then it swung back to level 2 and level 3. Every shift wasted years of development. People inside Apple said Titan suffered from the Steve Jobs vacuum. Jobs could drive impossible hardware projects to completion. Tim Cook is strategic and operational, but not a product visionary. Without one strong leader, Titan drifted. Meanwhile, regulators tightened self-driving laws, competitors advanced, and Apple kept restarting from scratch. The engineering teams grew exhausted. Billions were being burned. And for the first time in Apple's recent history, no one knew how to fix it. The race against time. By 2019, Apple made the painful realization they were 10 years behind Tesla. Tesla had millions of cars, billions of miles, and the world's leading battery manufacturing. Apple had prototypes, PowerPoints, and simulation data. Even with unlimited money, they couldn't buy real-world driving experience. Autonomy requires scale, and Apple didn't have it. So Apple tried a different angle. Build the car, but rely on outside suppliers for everything they couldn't perfect. They approached Hyundai, Kia, and Toyota for manufacturing partnerships. All three companies were interested, until they realized Apple wanted complete control over design, software, and branding. Apple wanted the glory. Car manufacturers wanted a shared future. It didn't match. Meanwhile, Titan's internal morale collapsed even further. Engineers saw Tesla hiring aggressively. AI specialists flocked to OpenAI. Robotics talent moved to Amazon and Google. Apple, unable to show meaningful progress, couldn't compete for the best minds anymore. The dream car had turned into a corporate sinkhole. The final straw. The final blow came from two directions. One, autonomous driving was failing. Across the industry, Uber abandoned its self-driving division. Ford shut down Argo AI. Cruise faced lawsuits and shutdowns. Regulators demanded stricter safety systems. Autonomy wasn't ready, and Apple's entire vision relied on autonomy working flawlessly. 2. The AI revolution changed everything. The success of ChatGPT shifted Apple's priorities instantly. AI assistants, AI glasses, AI devices, AI integration. This was the new frontier. Apple had to compete with OpenAI, Google, Meta, and xAI. Every dollar poured into Project Titan was a dollar not spent on the future of AI. And Apple made the decision. Shut Titan down. Redeploy the team to generative AI. Protect the next decade of innovation. Thousands of engineers were reassigned. Hundreds were laid off. Dozens of hardware systems were archived and locked away. And just like that, a decade of work vanished. Project Titan died quietly, just as quietly as it was born. Why Project Titan really failed. So what truly killed Apple's car? It wasn't money, it wasn't talent, it wasn't ambition. It was a combination of forces no tech company could overcome at once. The physics and cost of car manufacturing. The decade-long lead Tesla already had. The impossibility of perfect autonomy. The chaos of conflicting internal visions. The lack of a Steve Jobs-level product leader. The rapid shift toward AI-driven devices and glasses. The collapse of the global self-driving hype cycle. In the end, the mystery of Project Titan is not that it failed. It's that Apple tried it all. They attempted to leapfrog Tesla, out-engineer Toyota, out-AI Google, outmaneuver regulators, and build the next iPhone-scale product in an industry known for destroying even the strongest companies. But sometimes, even the most powerful brand in the world discovers its limits. And for Apple, the car was that limit.